the reason, so Bitcoin is, in my opinion, the expression of fiat debasement. And fiat debasement is the act of time and energy theft, right, in monetary form. So that's why when I look at a Bitcoin chart, when someone asks, wow, this monetary debasement thing, this theft of time and energy from the populace seems really bad. How bad is it? I say, look at a Bitcoin chart. You know, that thing that just seems to have gone like a hockey stick, that is the debasement of currency captured in another instrument. I mean, Bitcoin is the antithesis of everything we're talking about. It's a monetary policy that can't be changed. It's a currency that's fixed in supply, and it's a network that's distributed and resistant against any central control.
Money is more than just an item in our hands or a digital transaction in our bank accounts. It is really about energy and time. Our labor and commitment are rewarded by the valuable skills we acquire, the hours we put in, and the resources we employ. Money is a means of exchanging and storing energy and time. However, fiat currencies, such as the US dollar, have many limitations and weaknesses. Central banks print with reckless abandon, which causes inflation and devaluation. We become susceptible to the wishes of those in authority if they are taken or frozen. Nevertheless, as Bitcoin is founded on the same concepts of time and energy, it is an ideal substitute for cash. To preserve its value further, Bitcoin has a limited supply, and it is not subject to the control of any government or organization. Jack Mallers, the founder and CEO of Strike, talks about Bitcoin, monetary policy, and the future of money in a recent interview with podcaster Zuby. Jack gives his thoughts on the value proposition of Bitcoin, as well as the unspoken connection between energy, time, and money. By adopting Bitcoin, individuals can safeguard their wealth from inflation and the unpredictability of the traditional financial system. The shift towards Bitcoin represents a change in currency and a fundamental transformation in how we perceive and manage value in the modern world. As we bring you clips from the video, please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. You can also check out our other videos featuring insightful analysis and predictions from some of the industry's brightest minds. Everything you do helps with the YouTube algorithm and immensely contributes to the channel's growth. Thanks and enjoy this video.
I actually think the best place to start is understanding money a bit better. I like to think of money as our time and our energy in an abstracted form. What I mean by that is you do this podcast, in exchange for that, you get money. I run Strike, in exchange for that, you get money. You mow a lawn, you fix a windshield, you drive a car for someone else, you get money. So money is the market good that captures our collective contributions to society. It's intended to capture our time and energy so that that time and energy can either be saved or be traded, right? You can't go to the restaurant after this podcast and say, hey guys, I just recorded a podcast, I'll take 2 steaks. They'll be like, what? I don't want that. That's what we call barter, right? To solve for barter and scale the economy and allow us to hyper specialize on something like a podcast. Like a podcast isn't a tradable market good for dinner, for gas, for groceries, but it is for money. And so money is that market good, again, for abstracted time and energy. Now, if I were to store my time and energy in wheat, for example, let's go through that mental exercise. So I work all day on whatever I'm doing, and in return, I get wheat. Well, how good is that money, is wheat being the money, at persisting and saving through time? Well, it's very bad, because it's going to go bad and moldy and stale. And so that wheat is going to be worth 0 in about a week, right? Everyone has moldy bread. And then how good is that money in exchange? Can I send that wheat to Europe on my phone, right? And so thinking of money as how to capture your time and energy is a very powerful idea, as opposed to like a piece of paper, or as opposed to something that your government, whatever, tells you to use. Then contrast it to the dollar. If a government can print their own money and debase their money, that means they're debasing by proxy your time and energy. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So also a government's ability to borrow their own money is, in my opinion, as close to time travel as we've ever seen, because you're borrowing the time and energy from the collective populace from the future. That's crazy. You're taking time and energy from the future and saying, we'll pay it back at some point. That's as close to time travel and as malicious of an act. But every time the US government prints a dollar, they're devaluing me in my life because I've spent time and energy here on this planet. In return for that, I've got US dollars, and now those US dollars are worth less, so I'm worth less.
Yes.
And so the idea that you have a money that's one fixed can't be debased. So the holder, the time and energy of those that hold it cannot be debased. And then that lives outside the purview of a government or a central party or a corporation or any individual is the most powerful concept when it comes to storing our time and energy. And you'd have to think through the history of money. Well, historically, you try and get as close as you can, right? Bitcoin right now, I believe, is as close as we can to the perfect store for our collective time and energy. But once upon a time, it was gold.
Yes.
Why? Because those collection of chemicals get us kind of close. It's harder to find more gold and debase our time and energy than it is silver, than it is copper, right? And people think of real estate as a place to store wealth, store time and energy. Why? Because you can't print any more land. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean you can't print any more real estate, right? They're going to build a building that's 1,000 stories high in Manhattan one day. So we've tried to find vehicles that are close enough at the time and energy piece. And Bitcoin, my interpretation of Satoshi and Bitcoin is the tool that's best equipped to be money, which is the tool that's best equipped to store your time and energy and allow you to save it and exchange it for something in the market.
The way money is created and controlled today is fundamentally unfair and effectively steals time and energy from people. Key indicators like marriage age, home ownership, and life expectancy are all declining worldwide, underscoring the growing difficulty people face in enjoying a good life. The government's ability to print money leads to inflation, which reduces the value of money over time. This phenomenon is a form of time and energy theft because it erodes purchasing power, making it harder for people to afford the things they need. Bitcoin offers a revolutionary alternative. As a decentralized cryptocurrency with a fixed supply, it cannot be controlled or manipulated by any central authority, making it a fairer representation of time and energy. Bitcoin's fixed supply ensures its value is preserved, protecting against inflation and devaluation. Unlike traditional money, which can be printed at will, Bitcoin maintains its scarcity, thereby safeguarding its worth. Furthermore, Bitcoin empowers users by giving them complete control over their assets through secure, transparent, and irreversible transactions. This decentralization and user control make Bitcoin a powerful tool to combat the unfairness inherent in traditional monetary systems. By using Bitcoin, individuals can reclaim control over their time and energy, ensuring that external forces do not diminish the value they create through their labor. In his interview, Jack Mallers highlights how Bitcoin can address these issues, offering a more equitable and stable financial system. This shift not only protects individual wealth, but also promotes broader economic stability and fairness. Let's return to Jack's insightful discussion.
What's crazy is if people look, I encourage everyone listening to go look into metrics like the average year someone gets married, the percentage of the populace that turns into a homeowner. It's all going very bad. So, for example, everyone used to get married around 22, 23. Everyone's now getting married around 32, 33. Life expectancy is going down. Home ownership is going down. Divorce rates going up. And these are all metrics that tell me that in order to live a life what you're pleased with, it's requiring more time and energy. You know, your dad could have worked 2.5, 3, 4, 5 years to own a home. People are having to work 20, 30, 40, 50 years to own a home. They're still the same humans. Yep. So by debasing the currency, again, if you think of it as time and energy in an abstracted form, you're increasing the time and energy required to live a sustainable life. And it deteriorates society. It's really an awful, malicious thing to do to, you know, when you say steal from people, they are stealing the time and energy from the collective populace. You know, when your groceries double, when your McDonald's order doubles, whatever that is for you, and your gas price doubles, it's just requiring more time and energy for you to have the life that you need to have. The reason, so Bitcoin is, in my opinion, the expression of fiat debasement. And fiat debasement is the act of time and energy theft, right, in monetary form. So that's why when I look at a Bitcoin chart, when someone asks, wow, this monetary debasement thing, this theft of time and energy from the populace seems really bad. How bad is it? I say, look at a Bitcoin chart. You know, that thing that just seems to have gone like a hockey stick, that is the debasement of currency captured in another instrument. I mean, Bitcoin is the antithesis of everything we're talking about. It's a monetary policy that can't be changed. It's a currency that's fixed in supply, and it's a network that's distributed and resistant against any central control. And so when something that is printed out the wazoo, a policy that can be changed by politicians, and something that's so centrally planned and controlled is expressed, it's captured in this thing. And so that's the other real beautiful thing about Bitcoin as well. But anyway, yeah, I mean, the problem with money historically is if you can print it, you will.
Yes.
Because energy and time are the currencies of the universe, right? Energy is the currency of the universe. If you think about humanity from the highest level possible, it's really our ability to commercialize energy from the sun. That's what the more we're able to commercialize energy from the sun, the more advanced and flourishing our species is. And it's just a progressive way of how to engineer a better world, and that's through channeling and commercializing energy. And so if you have access to print energy and allocate it to yourself, you will.
Yes.
And that, you know, you can make the argument that that's really malicious and terrible of someone to do. You can also make the argument that that's human behavior, is that is the currency of the universe and the currency of our history. And if someone has access to it, they will claim it.
It's just incentives.
Correct. And so, yeah, I mean, that to me, when people say, you know, Bitcoin's decentralized, quote unquote, I actually hate the overuse of the word. You know, Bitcoin to me is distributed. Bitcoin to me is, the point is that nobody can access the energy. That's the whole way Satoshi designed it.
Meanwhile, Bitcoin has been the subject of many price predictions, some of them extreme. Notably, ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood recently stated she thinks Bitcoin could surpass the $1 million milestone considerably sooner than many believe. In 2030, Wood claims the cryptocurrency could reach an incredible $1.48 million. Senior analyst Nicholas Siberas of Collective Shift notes that the general surprise at Bitcoin's explosive growth is reflected in this projection. He opines, "It's hard to set any kind of price target because depending on the degree of adoption and outside variables in the market, the sky could literally be the limit. Since its initial recorded price of less than a penny, Bitcoin has gone through significant growth. On June 9th, 2024, the value of one Bitcoin was around $70,000. The idea that Bitcoin could one day be worth $1 million per unit, as Siberas points out, really shows how far we've come. All eyes will continue to remain on Bitcoin as the foremost cryptocurrency." What are your thoughts on Jack Mallers' interview? Do you agree that Bitcoin could be worth millions of dollars in the near future? Please drop your thoughts in the comments below and like and share this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.